Folks, welcome back to Flatirons Tuning. We're here for a new type of video that we're going to do through the course of the year. We want to do a sales report for Subaru each month as they kind of come out with their numbers, because we want to track what's going on with the WRX, the VRZ. We're also really curious what's going on or going to happen with these new EVs. So we want to look back. Now it's the beginning of February. We can look back at January, see what happened. And I think through the course of the year, it should give us some good information about what is actually happening out there, what Subarus are moving, and maybe an indication of what the what happens with the WRXs, with the new lower prices, all that sort of thing. How many people are still buying B or Zs? Is it still doing consistently well, or is that changing? I think at this point going forward, with all the changes that are happening, this is going to be a good piece of information to have. So we want to dive into that. Before I do, just want to say, if you like and subscribe, that helps the channel a great deal. And if you're watching on a mobile device and you have the ability to hype this video, it'd be awesome if you could, because that helps make sure that this content gets out and more people can see it. We really appreciate that. So, all right, with that being said, we're going to put up on the screen the January sales report from Subaru. I won't dive through all of it, but like some of the key indicators here. We'll start with the WRX, of course. WRX 1,211 units sold in January. If you look back at December, they did 1,215, so it's almost exactly the same. November, only 856 WRXs sold. So pretty much on par with December. Of course, we've now gotten the announcement that 2026 WRX pricing is much lower. They brought the base WRX back. So this is, again, one of the big motivations here is I want to see how much of a change that makes on WRX sales. Does it really create a big uptick, or I don't know, does it stay flat? Who knows? That's what we're going to find out. So I think probably a lot of these WRXs that are sold, they were still 25s. They've got 0% financing. They're trying to kind of clear the 25s off. I don't know how many of the 26s are actually even landing yet, if they're even landing yet. So this could be old inventory that's moving. We'll just have to see what happens. BRZ is pretty stable. It's about 200 units per month, 238 for January. Kind of on par. I guess it's not that surprising, except January was cold and snowy. So, I mean, maybe it is surprising that people are buying that many rear-wheel drive sports cars in January. Who knows? But definitely want to see and just see what happens with BRZ sales through the course of the year. Let's look at the Solterra. So the Solterra, 572 units sold in January. It's actually up slightly from December, 498. Again, with the Subaru EVs, 2026 is a huge year because there's a big change to the Solterra, and we've got the Uncharted and the Trail Seeker coming out in probably March and April of this year, so a couple more months to go. And that's where I really want to see, what happens to these sales numbers. Do they go up? Do they go down? Let's find out. And all we can do is just wait and see how the numbers come in. But I mean, it would seem 572 is a decent number of Solterra sold. Of course, it's less than the WRX by a pretty good margin. But it's just something that we're going to track and see what happens for the rest of the year. The other interesting news detail that came out is that Subaru is now producing Forester hybrids in their Indiana plant. What this means, twofold, is one, it's the first hybrid that Subaru has made here in the U.S., so that's a big change. And now every Forester that is sold in the U.S. market is made in Indiana. Why this is a big deal is, the Forester sold 15,800 units in January of 26. It's actually a record January for Forester sales. But that's also the most vehicles of any one line that they sold in January. Well, and you got to figure, if they were making all the hybrids over in Japan, all of those cars that are coming across, they're going to be affected by tariffs and whatnot. So them bringing this popular model of Forester all into U.S. production, that helps with the tariff side. Maybe that's part of the way that they were able to actually reduce the price on the WRXs. Who knows? I think it's a positive thing that all those Foresters are made here in the U.S. It's going to be interesting to see how that Forester hybrid is received going forward. The last thing that I will say is we're getting to the end here is it is February. Believe it or not, the rally season is starting. Snowdrift is this weekend as you're watching this. Vermont Sports Car is running the new limited four-wheel drive car driven by Travis Pastrana. Head over to their Instagram. They posted a new picture of it. They're asking, hey, what do you see that's changed? Hard to pick up what has changed, though it does look like it's sitting very tall right now, and maybe the suspension has been changed. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how the rally season kicks off. Yeah, follow along with that, and follow along with Subaru's progress with the limited four-wheel drive car, and what goes on at the top end there now that Subaru's not running the open class, and When do we get to see the GR Corolla rally car and all that sort of thing. So make sure you follow along with the ARA rally. Check out what's going on at Snowdrift this weekend. That's about it for this episode. Again, we're going to be doing this every month just to track, what's going on with Subaru sales, what's going on with Subaru news through the course of the year. Really curious to see what happens. So make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much for your support as always. And until next time, stay tuned with Flatirons Tuning.